What if I told you that your genes only have about a 20% say in how long you'll live? It's true. That means the other 80% is up to you. It's shaped by your lifestyle, your environment, and the daily choices you make. For decades, scientists were fascinated by these little pockets of the world, where people weren't just hitting 100, but they were thriving, often without the chronic diseases we've just accepted as a normal part of getting older. An explorer named Dan Buettner famously circled these places on a map in blue ink, and they became known as the Blue Zones. After years of research, we've finally started to understand their secrets. And it's not a magic pill or some expensive biohack. It's a series of simple yet powerful daily habits. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 10 evidence-backed secrets of the world's longest-lived people. Deep in parts of Greece, Italy, Japan, Costa Rica, and even California, there are communities where living past a century isn't some rare accomplishment. It's surprisingly common. These are the Blue Zones: Icaria in Greece, Sardinia in Italy, Okinawa in Japan, the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California. For years, researchers studied these groups, trying to figure out what they all had in common. Was it their DNA? The air they breathed? What they found was something much simpler and more powerful. Even though their cultures and food are different, the people in these zones all share a core set of lifestyle principles. These aren't intense changes they make later in life. They are simple habits woven into their lives from the very beginning. They don't chase a long life, they just live it naturally. The research, led by people like Dan Buettner with support from National Geographic and the National Institute on Aging, boiled this down to something called the Power 9, a set of 9 core principles. We've built on that research, adding in other scientific studies on centenarians to bring you a solid list of 10 habits. And these aren't just theories. They're real, observable behaviors that are proven to increase not just your lifespan, but your health span. That's the number of years you feel great. So, if you've ever wondered what it really takes to live a longer, healthier, and happier life, you're in the right place. Let's get into the 10 habits of the world's longest-lived people. Habit 9. Live in a supportive environment. Here's a really critical insight from the Blue Zones. Living a long life is rarely about being a superhero of willpower. People there don't have more self-discipline than the rest of us. The difference is, they live in environments that make the healthy choice the easy choice. Their surroundings are basically engineered to support all the habits we've been talking about. Think about their physical environment. Many Blue Zones are in rural areas with lots of nature. This means plenty of chances for natural movement, like walking on uneven ground or gardening. Just being in nature is proven to lower stress and improve mental health. The way their towns are set up encourages walking, with homes, markets, and places to worship all close by. Their food environment is also completely different. In the Blue Zones, fresh, local, whole food is the default. People often have their own gardens. Local markets are filled with produce and beans, not endless aisles of processed junk food. The temptation to eat poorly just isn't there in the same way. They haven't sacrificed their health for convenience. Then you have the social environment, which creates this positive feedback loop. When your whole community eats a plant-based diet, values social connection, and has daily rituals for stress, those behaviors just become the norm. This is why projects that try to apply these principles to modern cities have been so successful. By making small changes to public spaces and schools, they've been able to improve health across entire communities. So, the big takeaway here is that you have to curate your own environment. This could mean deconveniencing your home to make you move more, like doing more chores by hand. It means stocking your kitchen with healthy foods and making the unhealthy stuff harder to get to. It means designing your social life around people who lift you up. The people in the Blue Zones didn't just decide to live a long time. Their world was set up to make it happen. By consciously shaping our own personal Blue Zone, We can make healthy living feel natural, not like a constant battle. Habit 8. Maintain strong social connections. It's so easy to become isolated in our modern world. Loneliness has become a true public health crisis. Some researchers even say its health impact is as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But in the blue zones, life is built around deep, meaningful social connections. Family and community aren't just important, they're everything. In Okinawa, they have something called a moai. It's a small group of friends, usually formed in childhood, who promise to support each other for life. This tight-knit circle is there for everything: illness, financial trouble, or just a shoulder to lean on. They meet up all the time to chat, share meals, and just be together, creating this powerful safety net against stress and loneliness. In every blue zone, family comes first. Centenarians prioritize their relationships. They commit to a life partner, which can add up to 3 years of life expectancy, and they invest tons of time and love in their kids. It's also common for multiple generations to live together or right nearby. Grandparents often help raise the grandkids, which gives the elders a sense of purpose, and has even been shown to be healthier for the kids too. The science on this is undeniable. A huge analysis of 148 studies found that people with strong social ties had a 50% greater chance of survival compared to those with weaker connections. Being connected to others helps lower stress, reduces blood pressure, and boosts your immune system. Plus, your social circle shapes your habits. The famous Framingham Heart Study showed that behaviors like smoking and obesity can spread through social networks, but so can happiness and healthy habits. If your friends live a healthy lifestyle, you're more likely to as well. The lesson is to actively build your tribe. Invest time in your most important relationships and find a community where you feel like you belong. Habit 7. Have a sense of purpose. In Okinawa, there's a word for it: ikigai. It roughly translates to your reason to wake up in the morning. In Costa Rica, they call it plan de vida, or a life plan. Whatever you call it, having this strong sense of purpose is a huge common thread among the world's longest lived people. And it's not just a nice idea. Research shows that having a sense of purpose can add up to 7 years to your life. For many in the blue zones, purpose is tied to their daily roles. It's the 102-year-old Okinawan karate master who still teaches kids. It's the Sardinian grandmother whose purpose is to pass down family recipes to the next generation. It's the elder in Nicoya who finds joy in tending his garden and sharing his food with neighbors. It's so interesting that in these cultures, there's no real word for retirement in the way we think of it, a complete stop. They stay active and involved their entire lives. They feel needed, and that gives them a reason to live. This has real, measurable effects on the body. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose have lower levels of inflammation and better mental health. It gives you the motivation to stay healthy. If you have a reason to get up in the morning, you're more likely to take care of yourself. Finding your own ikigai is a personal journey. It doesn't have to be some grand, world-changing thing. It's about finding that sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs all come together. It could be your work, a hobby, volunteering, or taking care of your family. Just ask yourself, what makes me lose track of time? What can I offer others? Shifting your focus from just living longer to living a life with meaning might be the most powerful longevity secret there is. Habit 6. Manage stress and stay optimistic. Life is stressful. No one, not even someone living on a sunny Greek island, gets a free pass from challenges and loss. The big difference isn't that people in the blue zones don't have stress, it's that they have built-in daily routines to get rid of it. They seem to intuitively understand that chronic stress is like a slow poison to your health. These stress-busting rituals look different in each blue zone, but they all do the same thing: help people slow down and find peace. The Adventists in Loma Linda observe a 24-hour Sabbath each week to rest, pray, and connect with their community. In Okinawa, people take a few moments each day to remember their ancestors, which fosters a sense of gratitude. The Icarians take a daily nap, and Sardinians gather for a daily happy hour to laugh and unwind with friends. These aren't just things they do if they have time. They are prioritized parts of the day. Modern science completely backs this up. Chronic stress floods your body with hormones like cortisol. Over time, this leads to chronic inflammation, which we now know is a root cause of almost every major age-related disease. By intentionally downshifting every day, people in the blue zones keep that inflammation in check. Tied closely to this is a sense of optimism. Centenarians often have this amazing resilience and a positive outlook. They laugh a lot, and this isn't just a personality trait, it's a health strategy. Being optimistic is linked to a stronger immune system and a greater chance of sticking with other healthy habits. The lesson is simple: build stress-reducing rituals into your day. Maybe it's a morning meditation, a walk outside, or just 5 minutes of deep breathing. And try to cultivate a positive mindset. Practice gratitude. Focus on solutions instead of problems, and don't forget to laugh. Shedding stress is just as important as shedding extra weight. Habit 5. Get quality sleep. In our busy 24/7 world, sleep is often the first thing to go. We almost wear our exhaustion as a badge of honor, thinking that being productive means we always have to be on. The people in the blue zones live by a different clock. They don't see sleep as a luxury. They see it as a vital part of being healthy. They typically get about 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep a night, and they feel good about it. It's not just about how long you sleep, it's about the quality and the routine. Many centenarians go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. This keeps their body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, in sync, which controls everything from hormones to body temperature. On top of that, people in blue zones naturally build rest into their day. In places like Icaria, Greece, the midday nap is a cultural tradition. This isn't about being lazy, it's a smart way to recharge and lower stress. Research shows that even short naps can make you more alert and improve your mood. The science of sleep shows just how important it is for living a long time. When you're sleeping, your body is doing critical repair work. Your brain is cleaning out waste products that are linked to Alzheimer's disease. Good sleep is essential for your immune system, and it helps regulate the hormones that control your appetite, which is why a lack of sleep is linked to weight gain. Basically, not getting enough sleep is a huge stressor on your body. The lesson from the world's longest-lived people is clear. Make rest a priority. Create a calming bedtime routine, stick to a schedule, and listen to your body. It's one of the best things you can do for your long-term health. Habit 4. Don't smoke and limit alcohol. This one might seem obvious, but it's probably the most important decision you can make for a long life. Don't smoke. In every single study on longevity, and in every blue zone, avoiding tobacco is a non-negotiable rule. The link between smoking and a shorter life is one of the strongest findings in medical history. If you want to make it to 100, never starting to smoke, or quitting as soon as you can, is absolutely critical. Now, the conversation around alcohol is a little more interesting. While drinking too much is clearly bad for you, moderate drinking is a common thread in most blue zones. The one exception is the Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda, who don't drink at all. But in the other 4 zones, people regularly enjoy alcohol, but in a very specific way. They usually have 1 or 2 small glasses of high-quality red wine a day. almost always with friends and a meal. In Sardinia and Icaria, the local red wines are packed with antioxidants that are great for heart health. But the key words here are moderation and context. This isn't about binge drinking on the weekends. It's a small, consistent amount of alcohol enjoyed with food and in a social setting, which strengthens their community bonds. But let's be clear, experts don't suggest that you should start drinking for your health. The fact that the Adventists in Loma Linda live so long proves that you don't need alcohol to have a long life. The lesson here is about being mindful. If you do drink, a small amount of red wine with a meal might have some benefits, but anything more than that can quickly cause problems. The main rule is simple: don't smoke ever, and if you drink, be smart about it. Habit 3. Maintain a healthy weight with the 80% rule. If you sat down for a meal in Okinawa, Japan, you might hear a 3,000-year-old phrase before anyone takes a bite: hara hachi bu. It's a simple reminder to stop eating when you feel about 80% full. This little habit is a powerful form of calorie control that's the total opposite of our modern habit of eating until we're stuffed. It's not a diet, it's a mindful way of eating, and it's a huge reason why people in the blue zones tend to stay lean and healthy their whole lives. That 20% gap between feeling almost full and totally full can be the difference between staying at a healthy weight and slowly gaining weight over the years. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain it's full. By stopping at 80%, Okinawans give their brain time to catch up, which naturally keeps them from eating too much. And research strongly supports this. Studies on all sorts of animals have shown that eating fewer calories is linked to a much longer life. The idea of hara hachi bu helps you do this without feeling deprived. It's also easier on your digestion and helps control your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and lower your risk of heart disease. Beyond just the 80% rule, people in the blue zones often eat their biggest meal in the morning, a smaller one at midday, and their smallest meal in the late afternoon or early evening. Then they basically fast overnight, giving their digestive system a long break. This lines up with our body's natural rhythms and is great for our metabolism. So this isn't about counting every calorie. It's about learning to listen to your body. Eat slowly, actually taste your food, and pause for a second to check in with how you feel. It's simple, ancient wisdom that can help you build a better relationship with food and your body. Habit 2. Adopt a plant-slant diet. Across every single blue zone, from the mountains of Sardinia to the islands of Okinawa, one eating habit is incredibly consistent. They all eat a diet that's mostly plant-based. Researchers call it a plant-slant. This doesn't mean everyone's a strict vegetarian, but about 95% of their food comes from plants. Meat is a rare treat, eaten maybe a few times a month in small portions, more for flavor than as the main event. The cornerstones of their diet are vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and especially legumes. Beans are the undisputed superstar food in every blue zone. Nicoyans in Costa Rica love their black beans. Icarians and Sardinians eat all kinds of lentils and chickpeas. And Okinawans eat a ton of soybeans, usually as tofu. One study found that eating just a quarter cup of beans a day could reduce your risk of dying in any given year by about 8%. These foods are jam-packed with fiber and protein, giving you slow, steady energy. Leafy greens are another hero. In Icaria, they eat over 75 kinds of wild greens, many of which have way more antioxidants than red wine. The Okinawan diet is famous for its sweet potatoes, which were their main food for centuries. Whole grains like oats, barley, and brown rice are also essential. The science on this is crystal clear. Countless studies show that eating a lot of plants is linked to a lower risk of heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Swapping animal protein for plant protein can seriously cut your risk of an early death. For example, One study found that getting just 3% more of your protein from plants was linked to a 5% lower risk of dying prematurely. All the fiber in these diets helps control blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and keep your gut healthy, which we're learning is key to everything. Simply by making plants the star of your plate, you're not just eating, you're investing in a longer, healthier life. Habit 1. Move naturally. The first secret from the blue zones might catch you off guard with its simplicity. The world's longest-lived people don't go to the gym. They aren't running marathons or pumping iron. Instead, their lives are set up in a way that constantly nudges them to move. Researchers call this natural movement. It's not about scheduled, intense exercise. It's about making physical activity a natural and often accidental part of the day. Picture a Sardinian shepherd who walks for miles over steep hills every day, not for a workout, but just to take care of his flock. Or think of an Okinawan grandmother who spends hours in her garden, getting up and down from the ground over and over without a single thought. This isn't a workout plan, it's just life. Their environments are practically designed for movement. They walk up and down hills. They don't have all the mechanical gadgets for house and yard work we have. They knead bread by hand, wash clothes by hand, and walk to their neighbor's house or to the local market. This consistent, low-key activity all day long is way more effective for longevity than short, intense workouts, followed by hours of sitting, and the science totally backs this up. We know that sitting all day is a huge risk factor for disease. On the flip side, regular, moderate activity is one of the best things you can do to live a long, healthy life. One study on Sardinian men directly linked their long lives to things like raising animals and walking long distances. This kind of movement keeps your muscles and bones strong, which is critical for preventing falls as you age. It's great for your heart, boosts your mood, and lowers your risk for heart disease and diabetes. The key takeaway isn't to ditch your gym routine if you love it, but to change your mindset. The goal is to make movement a normal part of your day. Walk instead of drive, take the stairs, start a garden. Build a life where sitting is the break, not the main event. Habit 10. Stick to healthy routines and belong to a community. The final habit that holds everything together is the power of routine and the deep sense of belonging that comes from being part of a community, often a faith-based one. These two ideas are closely linked in the blue zones, providing a stable structure that supports all the other habits. Centenarians are creatures of habit. They live by consistent routines, regular meal times, consistent sleep schedules, and a predictable daily rhythm. This consistency helps regulate the body's internal clocks and creates a comforting sense of order, which is a great way to fight stress. A huge part of this routine for most centenarians involves faith. In one study of over 250 centenarians, almost all of them belong to a faith-based community. Attending services regularly has been linked to an extra 4 to 14 years of life expectancy. The benefit doesn't seem to be about a specific religion, but about what being part of that community gives you. First, these communities are a built-in social network. They offer a place to connect and a support system when things get tough. Second, they often reinforce healthy behaviors, encouraging moderation and service to others. The Adventists in Loma Linda are a perfect example, with a lifestyle rooted in their faith that emphasizes a vegetarian diet and a day of rest. And third, faith often provides a way to manage stress and find purpose through rituals like prayer and meditation. The takeaway isn't that you have to become religious. It's that you should find a community that gives you that same sense of belonging, shared values, and positive support. It could be a spiritual group, a volunteer organization, or a hobby club. By combining the steady power of daily routines with the social and spiritual support of a community, you create a powerful framework that holds all the other longevity habits in place. Conclusion. This journey through the blue zones reveals a really hopeful truth. How long we live isn't just genetic luck. It's a reflection of our daily lives. The 10 habits we've looked at, moving naturally, eating mostly plants, the 80% rule, prioritizing sleep, managing stress, and all the rest, aren't some radical, impossible goals. They are simple, proven principles that are just a normal part of the culture for the world's longest-lived people. What's really amazing is how these habits all work together. A plant-based diet is easier when your friends and family eat that way. Natural movement is effortless when your environment encourages it. Stress is easier to handle when you have a strong support system and a sense of purpose. The challenge for us is to consciously build what people in the blue zones get by default. It means we have to shape our own environments and be intentional about our choices. But you don't have to move to a Greek island to start. You can begin today with one small change. Maybe it's adding a side of beans to your dinner, taking a walk after your meal, or calling a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Each small step, when you do it consistently, becomes a habit. And those habits, over time, are the real secret to adding not just years to your life, but more life to your years. If this journey into the secrets of longevity inspired you, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into health and wellness. We want to build a community right here, so share your own tips for a long and healthy life in the comments below. Which of these 10 habits are you most excited to try? Let's learn from each other. Thanks for watching, and here's to a longer, healthier life.